Okay, welcome to the briefing on Thursday the 13th. It's certainly cold out there today, folks, but that's a good sign. It should be quite a nice day, and you can see this high pressure stabilised over the top of us. 1042 really is high pressure for this time of year. Not a great deal of fog associated with it. I think it's foggy in places, but the forecast seems to suggest it'll burn off. But you can see we're almost down here, almost in the centre of it. So winds very, very light, more like just a drift rather than anything else. Most forecasts are giving light and variable. So the Farnborough TAF, not a lot really. Important bits, variable, 3 knots. The wind could be a little bit like yesterday, a bit all over the place. Hopefully cab okay, that would be good if the viz does go beyond 10k. But yesterday afternoon when the sun was going down, it was pretty poor looking into wind. The tempo bits between 9 and 11, chance of fog and slightly reduced visibility this morning. So that's just at Farnborough. That's a bit more low lying than us. So I think they've got more chance of sitting in a sort of fog bank than we have. It looks reasonably clear here now. Upper winds. This is where we're trying to work out exactly where the wind's going to come from. It appears to be sort of rotating around here, across the channel. 090, 120. Quite light. I think 10 to 15 knots is a bit optimistic, actually. I think more like about sort of 5 to 10 knots upper winds, looking at other forecasts. And then by the middle of the country, it's gone back to a sort of westerly direction. So it's curving around like this. Fingers crossed, that's the way it's going to stay, and it'll allow us to operate hopefully on 2.7. Sat pick doesn't really show very much. Odd bits of pockets of fog, as you can see, some out to the west, and the BBC was suggesting that out in the West Country there might be pockets of fog that stay there all day and just little bits around here, but nothing much. Very little upper cloud as well. Temperature wise, similar picture to yesterday, 8 maybe 9 degrees by early afternoon, so fairly warm. I mean, not particular wind chill, that's for sure. And Top Meteo, we'll look at their wind forecast. That shows you this sort of curve around here of the upper winds. This is the 1500 foot winds. And if you then look at the 30 foot winds, you can see it really is just light and variable across us. That's 0 to 3 knots. And it stays like that pretty much all day. So I think, even lighter than yesterday, probably, in the wind. Cloud amounts, I think very little. Over the course of the day. Yesterday, we sort of, it looked like it could have turned foggy at one point during the morning, and then little tiny bits of cumulus formed at about 300 or 400 feet just for a little bit, as there was some mixing. But there's a strong inversion today, so I think there's very little chance of that happening. So by 11 o'clock should be clear, and then blue skies all day, folks. So yeah, blue skies, light winds, should be very pleasant. That's the good part of the forecast. Airspace wise, not really a lot going on in our airspace around here. We've all seen the number 9 and number 15 exactly the same before. You wish they'd just amend the air pilot and get it over with, rather than publishing a NOTAM every day. Abingdon's got gliding activity booker flying from there, and Fairford has an active ATZ until 4 o'clock this afternoon, and that's about it really airspace wise locally to us. Jet movements today, and Navajo's bit of a busy day, and I'll just share my screen here. show you what I think is going to happen today. So far, we've had a flight plan for OSRB 727 departure at 1400 hours. And this is what we think is going to happen with the Navajos coming in and out this morning. So busy day, hopefully only off the runway once, and these will land over the top of us. This one, maybe, we'll see. So you're aware of that, folks. Should be a nice day. A bit busy on the airfield with 2E movements. And the only other thing to be aware of is that when you pull the gliders out of the hangar in a minute, they may well freeze up for a little bit. And I open the hangar doors at just after 8 o'clock to try and stabilize the temperatures. But be aware of that, and they will have moisture on them, so it may take a little while to clear. Okay, folks, so I will see you out there shortly.